to the Findlay Recreation Center and the Westbrook College Television Network. Hello everybody, I'm Jay Harper as we get set for the first round of the Mayflower Conference Tournament. Tonight, number 3, Westbrook College hosting number 6, Johnston State. These two teams met just this past weekend. Westbrook College prevailing down in Vermont 81-60. A very interesting game, though. Johnston State made a couple of nice runs, and Westbrook College got in a funk a few times during the course of the game, and Johnston State hung around for quite some time before Westbrook College was able to pull out and put that one away. And again, tonight, Johnston State, though, comes in undermanned. Only 6 players for head coach Charlie Johnston to go to, and he's going to have his task and work cut out for him tonight. Of course, Westbrook College has the horses, they have the numbers, and everyone has been playing quite well as of late, especially Derek Vogel and Eric Werntgen. Werntgen had 16 points against Lennon State. He had 8 against Johnston State over the past weekend. And then again, there's point guard Andy Lennon. What can you say about the Melrose kid? He leads them in so many different categories: rebounding, assists, steals, and of course puts up some pretty good numbers in scoring. So it should be a good matchup. Westbrook College wants to get out, get running, get things going, and get prepped for this coming weekend when they'll head down to Rutland, Vermont, and play in, of course, the Final Four of the Mayflower Conference Tournament. Of course, that's presuming they take care of business tonight, and you can never anticipate and expect to win unless you go out and get it done on the floor. As far as Johnston State, one kid can really light him up from outside. That's Ozzy Osborne, and he can certainly shoot. He had 8 threes in that game against Westbrook College this past weekend. He had 60 on the season. He's a great outside shooter. He's really their only guy they can go to and ask for him to get some scoring. So they like to work it around, run down the clock, and then try to go to Osborne for the outside shot and potentially a 3-ball. And it should be a good one tonight, of course. In another aspect, Derek Vogel. We've heard about him all year long. 2-year All-American. He's done so much for this program. And tonight, he will surpass the 3,000-point plateau. He's going where no Maine player has ever gone before. Of course, a couple weeks ago, he broke the all-time scoring record inside the state of Maine, and that was at 2,676, I believe. And now he's going over 3,000. It's an amazing career for Vogel. He hopes to get this one in the bank and then have 3 more games. Of course, 2 wins down in Rutland will prevail and send them out to Idaho, and hopefully a lot more games out there. But it should be a great night for Vogel. We'll watch him. Only 3 points, so a 3-ball is what he did to break the scoring record. He started his career with a 3-ball. Vogel said, well, I'd love to have a 3, but maybe a big dunk and a flush. So we'll keep our eye on that one. It should be a great matchup. The opening round of the Mayflower Conference Tournament coming up right after this. National anthem sung tonight by Jessica Russell, a sophomore here at Westbrook College, a nursing major. Went to Winslow High School where she participated in drama and chorus, and a great job. See her warming up before tonight's contest, off to the side, getting the vocal cords going. A lot goes on, a lot put into this. The starting 5 for Johnston State. The Badgers come in 4-17 overall, 4-10 inside the Mayflower Conference. And they'll start Jonathan Bellows, Matthew Haley, Michael Osborne, Tony Roberge, and Brian Plouffe. Starting five, introduced by Nancy Amato, PA announcer here at the Findlay Recreation Center. Jay Harper along with cameraman Steve Poulos as we get set for the first round of the Mayflower Conference Tournament. Number 3, Westbrook College taking on number 6, Johnston State. And you may or may not have heard, of course, at the top of the cast, Derek Vogel only 3 points shy of 3,000. The fans tonight have brought their signs for $3 grand, so hopefully we'll get to see those. And Vogel, dunk or a 3-ball is what he'd like to see, but Derek, great young man, and he always says it has to come in the flow of the game. Like to get it out of the way early, get down to business. Johnston State comes in very undermanned, only 6 players dressed and going for head coach Charlie Mason, and they just played this past weekend Westbrook College, winning down in Johnston, Vermont, 81-60. Vogel had 28 in that one. Tap controlled by Johnston State. Brian Plouffe has the ball. Andy Lennon comes out to check him. Wildcats come out in the man defense. Dish down, comes across. Haley kicks it back out. Bellows, they go for Plouffe. Plouffe doesn't shoot that often. They really like to run the clock down and try to find Osborne. Michael Osborne, a prolific 3-ball specialist. Shot clock down, 2-1, and Haley hits the 10-footer from the baseline, giving Johnston State the early 2-0 lead. There it is, a 3-ball, can it be? And a fresh shot of the night. Just long by Vogel. He went after it right off the bat with the 3-ball. Pass for Curtis Nelson, just off his fingertips, out of bounds. Wildcats working against the zone defense. Werntgen goes for Lennon. Lennon down low, the no-look pass for Corey McClure. And Corey went up the backside rather than going straight up, tried to come up and under. Bellows, nice pass for Haley. Matthew Haley now with 4 points. Haley, a 6'1" freshman. Davies, pull-up jumper, got it. Davies struggled over the weekend in the scoring department, but again, solid defense and really got the Wildcats going along with Lennon and McKenney defensively in that big win over Linden State. Werntgen the steal. The big guy pulls up, goes for Lennon. Lennon dishes for Vogel, misses, gets his own board, back up, and he'll shoot 2 free throws. Vogel had 28 points against Johnston State on Saturday. Then on Sunday afternoon in Lyndonville against Linden State, he erupted for 38 points. He was 3 points shy of breaking the 3,000-point mark, and Coach Graffam really wanted to see him have that done here
at the Findlay Recreation Center. Looks like Vogel's come out just a little bit tense. Vogel makes 1 of 2, now 2 points shy, so any bucket by Vogel will get him to 3,000 points. Wildcats with a half-court pressure, trying to trap out of top work, and another steal. Up ahead for Vogel, and Plouffe gets back to intercept. He comes. Dish over for Nelson, and Corey McClure takes the charge. Werntgen has 2 steals, and as I said at the top of the cast, Eric Werntgen, the 6'7" junior out of Essex Junction, Vermont, had a solid weekend. Has been playing real well the last couple of weeks. Werntgen will take it from the free throw line, buries it. It's now 5-4 Wildcats. Wildcats again with the half-court trap defense. And Nelson trapped the corner, dribbles away. Nice dish for Haley. Haley has it rejected by Werntgen. And a foul committed from behind. Eric Werntgen now with a deuce, 2 steals, a block shot. Cameras all here to see Vogel surpass 3 grand. Alley-oop lob. Vogel goes up and can't quite contain it. Looking for Lennon and the backdoor lob. Osborne has yet to get a shot off. He had 8 threes versus the Wildcats. There comes one right there. Bang. Corey McClure draws the foul, gets it to fall. The assist out on top from Andy Lennon. AL with a dish down. Chris McKenney, the freshman, checks in. Lennon will sit down. Kenny bothered by heel problems, but affecting his play the last few weeks. Corey McClure converts, and he'll sit down as Chris Lotus checks in for him. (8-7) Westbrook College with a 1-point advantage. Pull-up shot, no good. And Bob Davies secures the rebound. Go down for Werntgen, kicks for Lotus. Lotus floats through, can't get it down, stays with it, up, no good. Good effort by Lotus, but can't get it to fall. Plouffe goes down low to Osborne. Gets Vogel up in the air, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Westbrook College is 6-0 inside the Mayflower Conference tournaments. The last 2 years, of course, they've won it, and that being the first 2 years that they've had the conference tournament. Their overall postseason record, 7-3 under head coach Jim Graffam. 6-0 though inside the Mayflower Conference, and looking to run that to 9-0 this year. It'll be a little more difficult. Wildcats, if they can prevail here today, have to travel to Vermont. Last 2 years they've hosted the tournament, being the #1 seed. This year they come in #3, and it's at a neutral site, St. Joe's of Vermont. Castleton and Green Mountain, the 1 and 2 seeds. McKinney's 3-ball rattles in and out. Vogel, record, got it. $3,000. And you see the signs. $3,000 points for Vogel, and a timeout called by Westbrook College.
What's up, buddy?
Now we got 40 heat. I want to put the hammer down on them, right? So let's keep moving and down here. Keep working at that, helping each other, because they're going to try to hold the ball as long as they can. So see the ball. Okay, all set? Here we go. Get the ball game going. Be solid, guys. Be solid.
What a great tribute by the fans of Westbrook College, up applauding for a good minute. Standing ovation with the signs in hand, and of course the record every time he scores continues to grow. It is a record, but he is the first Maine player to ever break 3,000 points, and that is a fantabulous achievement by the 6'5" senior out of Cumberland, Maine. Not only a great player, though, but a great person. And that's what Coach Graffam loves to coach. Vogel will sit down as he converts the three-point play. Now with 3,001 points in his career, and with a good run in the Mayflower Conference, and of course in Idaho, Vogel has a chance to break 1,000 points on the season. He's up over 900 right now. That is amazing. That's a career achievement for most players. McKinney bumps into Roberge, and boy, there's some banging going on. Roberge got hammered a couple times. McKinney reaches in, slaps it away. Nate Esty out there along with McKinney, Mackey, Lennon, and Lotus. Plouffe fakes, comes inside, and makes it. (11-10) Wildcats with a 1-point lead. 14-10 to play first half. Mackey's shot, no good. Rebound, Tony Roberge. Osborne a three. Got it. Two threes so far. Lennon goes for McKinney. Out on top for Lotus. He gets banged, no call. Esty's keeping it alive. Good work in there by Nate Esty. And Nate Esty does take a little swing at Matthew Haley. Talking to Nate before the game, he said, I predict a win. But also said, you shouldn't be mixing up with anybody in this team. They don't have anyone big enough to get you going. Well, already he's not too pleased with one Matthew Haley. Johnston State, again, though, showing that they are a tough bunch. Osborne, good ball fake, trains it again. 15-11, Johnston State. Estes pull-up shot, no good. Gets his own board, dishes for DV, and Debo knocks it down. A lot of bumping going on, and I can't tell here if this is intentional or what's going on. Charlie Mason asks for a timeout. There is some banging going on, and bang and blame, a little REM action.
Now know where Osborne is, because he's a scorer, right? So know where he is. And everybody everybody make sure we got a hand up on the shooters and rebound. We're not helping out enough down here. Let the guys go back to it. You guys have got to step up. And if they make a pass to young man, that's somebody else's fault. We're giving up 2 wide open jump shots that have obviously gone in, and our offense stinks right now. So let's keep the ball moving around so we can get some. We go. Come on now, right here. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. We got 15 seconds out there. Clock didn't start. There you go.
Hey,
We want you high.
12:41 go, first half. Wildcats trailing by a deuce. Wildcats going with some zone trap. Bellows turns it over. Jonathan Bellows, 6'4" sophomore out of Greenfield, Massachusetts. Vogel a 3. Debo starting to heat up from outside, and the Wildcats retake the lead, 16-15. Ten-second call. Wildcats playing the good full court zone defense, and the press works for a turnover. Davies a 3-ball. Short off the rim, and Osborne the rebound. Shot clock down to 6. Osborne from downtown, no, he has to pull it up. Plouffe has to reload and almost knocks it down. But Haley able to track down the awkward carom off the glass and rim. So a fresh 35-second clock for Johnston State, and the Badgers love that. They like to slow it down and use as much of the shot clock as they can. Werntgen and Aaron McClure check in. Lotus and Esty will sit down. And again, the defense causes a turnover. Debo pulls up, no good. Werntgen comes in, the rebound, put back. Eric Werntgen really playing great basketball the last month of the season, and certainly against this Johnston State team, he has so much size over the entire squad that he can really do some damage down in the paint. He's playing with a good confidence too. Another turnover. Johnston State in the weekend game had 7 players, and one of their captains, Derek Fletcher, a 6'3" sophomore out of Bradford, Vermont, quit at halftime. They had 7 players. They came out after the half with only 6 as Fletch called it a season. Werntgen, bang. Wildcats go to a 1-3-1 zone defense. Werntgen comes out, almost gets a steal. Plouffe loses it. Vogel, 3-ball. No good, and Bellows takes down the rebound. Wildcats up 5 with 9:20 to play first half. First round of the Mayflower Conference Tournament. The winner heads to Rutland, Vermont for the Final Four of the conference. Haley trap. Wildcats another steal. McKinney trying to bring it up. And McClure, nice pass over for Devo. (22-15). Bellows down for Osborne. Foul called on Aaron McClure. Older brother Corey will check in for him. Russell fakes, drives baseline. They get Werntgen for the foul. Thought that might have been Vogel's second personal foul, and I can't remember Derek Vogel being in foul trouble. Wildcats 21-11. They've won 20+ the last 4 seasons in a row. And the seniors of Corey McClure, Nate Estee, Derek Vogel, and Andy Lennon have won over 100 games in their 4-year career. That's an amazing feat. Over the weekend, we left out Nate Estee as a part of that class and crew. Of course, Nate out so often with injuries, sometimes forget about him. He has been a key part into the Wildcats' success over the last 4 years. Vogel to Werntgen, and Eric Werntgen with another big flush. Werntgen had a dunk over the weekend that was one of the best Coach Graffam says he has seen in a long, long time. He came flying in the lane, caught the ball in the air, and went down over a player and just hammered it home. Him and Vogel had some great dunks over the weekend. Vogel had 4 in one game. Werntgen had 2. Bellows way off. Nelson, though, weak side rebound, blocked by Werntgen. He's having a night. Wow. Vogel gets the body, gets the foul, but they say it was on the floor. Davies will take the 3-ball. Bang. Bob Davies, his first 3 in some time. It's got to feel good for the sophomore. Wildcats have upped their lead to 10. Nelson triple team was back for Haley. Haley drives baseline. Kick over for Roberge, and they'll call a foul on the baseline on Chris McKinney. Vogel has the block. The long outlet for McKinney. He's got Vogel and Werntgen trailing. Werntgen gets it to go. He goes down very, very hard. He is in pain. He laid it right on the hip, and this could be a huge blow to this Wildcat team. Let's hope he is okay. scary moment. He's holding his left side, as you can see, and it looks like it's above the hip bone. And all kinds of things could have happened there. Maybe just loss of wind, which is not much fun. Could also be bruised hip, broken ribs. Went up for the jam and got hit, and that's the thing, especially at this level, so dangerous because so many of these players can just barely clear the rim, and I don't mean barely being, you know, 1 or 2 inches. I mean 6 to 8 inches, which is, you know, you need to clear it by that much to be able to get up and flush the basketball. And if you get a bump on your way up, usually that causes the offensive player to avert the dunk and just go for the layup. But if you get caught up there and knocked off and you're up and going, that's the reason why that the hard fouls came into play throughout the basketball world, to try to prevent injuries of this nature. Werntgen will have to come out, and we'll see who Coach Graffam will send in to shoot the free throws. I believe it'll be Chris Lotus. And he's up a little bit sore, but let's hope he's able to come back. Eric Werntgen having a huge night to this point. Add 2 more. Blocks, steals, dunks, points. Coach Graffam with a word as he comes off, and let's hope he can ice that up and get back in here and continue his play. 29-17, the Wildcats with a 12-point advantage, 6:50 to go, first half. Lotus misses, there's Corey McClure. Back up, no good. Lotus comes in. Call a foul on Lotus. Coach Johnston and Coach Graffam not too pleased with that call. I didn't see a bang either. Roberge has it stolen from behind. Out comes Lennon, leading the break. Vogel loses it down low, and Roberge gets it back. And the referee missed the call there. Roberge went to save it, knocked it off a Wildcat, but it came up in the air. Andy Lennon had the call, and it hit Roberge again while he stood out of bounds. Bellows can't control it, and they turn it right back over. So, as they say in a court of law, justice prevails. McClure, 3-ball, bang. Down low for Haley, Lotus on him, kicks for Osborne, open for a 3. This one comes up short. Now has made 62 threes on the season as Michael Osborne, known as Ozzy. Lennon the steal, trying to come out of there, loses it back. Haley goes baseline, and that'll be a foul on Chris Lotus. The reach-in foul. Inside, and the steal, outlet pass, up for Davies. Bluff trying to save it. Quick inbound pass, and Chris Lotus blows the bunny. .5:20 now to play in the half. Wildcats up 32-17. Wildcats go to the 2-3 zone. Dangerous against a team with an outside shooter of the caliber of Osborne. Roberge has to take the bomb. Rattles in and out. The rebound by Lotus. Quick outlet. Davies, Vogel. Vogel floats in. 2 more. Pretty little kiss, and that's DV with the BC and the bucket. Unbelievable body control by Vogel. Haley trying to dribble through the double team. Foul called on Chris McKenney. Wildcats now over the limit. It'll be 1-on-1 situation for Matthew Haley. Haley, 6'1" freshman out of Castleton, Vermont. Haley with very low totals, only shooting 14 for 19 coming in to tonight's contest. Coming in at a 75% clip, makes them both. Of course, with injuries and players dropping off the roster, Haley probably picking up a lot of playing time as the season progressed. He's having himself a pretty good first half here. Davies a 3. 2 in a row. Davies now with 8 points here in the first half. 2 threes and a bucket. Davies already made 33s on the season, and he missed the first half of the season as Wolf comes back with a 3 ball. 37-22, and the Wildcats turn it over. Esty, Vogel, Davies, Lennon, and Aaron McClure out for the Wildcats. Booth loses it. I don't think he's got his dribble left. Asks for a timeout. Gets one with 3:15 to go here in the first half.
Let's go 21 right out of this. Okay, 21. You're the 4-man. On Waco, you got to be in the corner. Somebody's got to be there. Someone's on the high post. So don't go over there. And don't run it. We're going to run it. I understand, but anyway, make sure we get in the right thing. Here you go. Come on now. 2-3.
Team rebound.
Kick for Osborne. He's open for a 3 ball. And Davies takes him down, and Osborne will shoot 3 free throws.
Foul number 42, Davies, his first. Osborne at the line, shooting 3.
Osborne was shooting almost 40% from 3-point land coming into tonight's action. Made 8 against the Wildcats on Saturday. Team's leader in free throw percentage, shooting 78%. And he makes all 3. 37-25. Vogel, another 3 ball. This one long and bellows. hauls down the rebound. Roberts tries to save it, can't do so. Ben Nosek checks in. It looks like Ben brought some family with him here tonight to the Recreation Center. Esty misses inside the paint. Ben had a nice game against Linden State, 6 points and one great take to the hole. He shot at a 45-degree angle, got fouled, and made the bucket. Osborne, another three. He can single-handedly bring a team back. Lennon into Esty, goes over for Aaron McClure. Aaron McClure, bucket and the foul. Great interior passing, and this is what we saw the Wildcats do on Sunday against Linden State, one of the best games I have seen played. Intense, up and down the floor, and incredible defensive play by the Wildcats, and also the unbelievable interior passing, unselfish play. They had 3 and 4 touches down low, and they got it to the most open man on the floor. And sometimes you see a team overpass. That wasn't happening. It was perfect passing and great unselfish play. That game against Linden State. Linden State, a very tough team. They got some good players and some good numbers, and they played well, and the Wildcats had to erupt midway through the second half to prevail in that one. Davies a three. Got it. Bob Davies with the trifecta from Trifecta Land. 43-30 with now a minute 25 to go here in the first half. Bellows drives, pulls up, won't go down. He taps it out, Davies controls. Pulls up for another one, is he feeling it? Well, obviously he is, but it won't quite go down. Nosek, the save. Aaron McClure will take it, comes up short. Lennon tracks it down. And the Melrose kid who set the offense. 50 seconds to play. Davies this time will go to the rack. Oh, pretty, pretty. Davies used to picking up his game right around this time of year. Class C tournament up in Augusta, he certainly picked that up a number of years. Pluff almost loses it, goes in, a nice move, but can't get it down. Plenty of time for the Wildcats. Davies around the back. And they call a kick on, I believe, Johnson State. Charlie Mason doesn't like the call, and he's going to go through his three-point bad call system. .6 seconds to play in the half. Davies will inbound. The Badgers in a zone defense. Lennon goes for Davies. Davies trapped in, and he gets it up, draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. But Davies, of course, playing for Old Orchard Beach throughout his high school career, and is the Maine Player of the Year his senior campaign, and led his team to a gallant effort in the Class C tournament. I believe they went to the finals and lost to Eastern Maine. I think they won Class C championship, but Davies was averaging around 40 points a game in the tournament. Of course, tournament underway at the Augusta Civic Center, and I saw a game this morning on PBS. Class D matchup, Hyde and Richmond. Maybe not Hyde, what's the other? Gould Academy and Richmond. And what a great game. Gould almost pulled the upset, but Richmond came back from 5 points down, and a steal at the buzzer. Steal with like 6 seconds left, and the young man for Richmond drove the length of the court, made the layup, And Richmond, the number 2 seed, held on and actually came from behind and pulled off a miraculous come from behind victory. Here it's 47-30 with 9 seconds to play. And Ozzie looking to bite off another bat head here. He had 29 against the Wildcats, including those 8 threes in the outing on Saturday. Gets them both. Wildcats with plenty of time. Lennon will take one. No good, the rebound. And a very light foul there called on Aaron McClure with 2.3. That'll give another 2 shots at the free throw line for the Badgers.
Fouls to number 22, Aaron McClure.
Wildcats won that game 81-60. As you said, Vogel had 28 in that one. Andy Lennon had 11. Aaron McClure had one of his best games of the year offensively. He had 12 points in that game. Werntgen had 8. Davies had 8. McKenney had 6 with a couple of threes. Davies launch. Ooh. On target, just missed. 20 minutes played here in Portland. Westbrook College leading 47-33. It's the first round of the Mayflower Conference Tournament. Winner heads to Rutland and the Final Four this coming weekend. We'll take a break. Back with halftime right after this. Welcome back to the Findlay Recreation Center. Jay Harper being joined now by Ron Crosby. Second half appearance. And a good first half of play for the Wildcats. Ron, you look at things, got to check out the latter portion of the half. And of course, Johnston State undermanned, but they seem to come and play hard. And it's just a matter of numbers for them. They get tired, worn down, and the Wildcats usually able to exploit them late.
Well, I agree with you 100% there, Jay. They play a style of offense which slows it down, so it's always tough for Westbrook College to get going. But the lack of energy put on by Johnston State in the late in the first half enabled Westbrook to start running and get the easy baskets.
Davies drives. He had 15 points in the first half. Lennon floats in, draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. Scoring in the half for the Wildcats. Davies led them with 15. He had 3 threes. Vogel had 13 points, 1 3, and of course surpassed 3,000 points in his career. First Maine player to ever do that, and it was a big, big moment. Let's listen in to Derek Vogel talking about 3,000 points here.
It'll be a nice feeling. It'll be nice to do it in front of the crowd, in front of all the people that have supported us for 4 years. But again, it's just got to be something that's got to come in the flow. That's going to be a huge game, regardless if we win by 20 or 30. It's got to just come in the flow, and as long as that happens, then it'll be a happy moment. But if it's something that we have to work to get, then I'd rather not even have it.
Lennon makes the free throw, and it's 50-33.
Eric Werntgen's moving very well for that hip injury. Said it was more of a scare than anything.
Werntgen had 10 points in that first half, and he was terrific. Steals, block shots, rebounds, and a double figures in scoring. Vogel takes down the rebound, up for Davies. Kicks for Lennon. Lennon pulls in, drops it down for Corey McClure. Corey McClure misses inside, gets his own rebound. Vogel a 3. Got it.
One thing about Corey McClure, he's got to start just going right back up with it instead of using that power dribble. That's how he uses it, usually loses it. He can just learn to go right back up with it.
it's his presence of mind underneath. He's got to know when there's nobody there and to go straight up. If there's someone there, yeah, head fake. But if there's no one around, you got to go right up. And the coaching staff has tried to get Corey to do that for a long time. And Werntgen comes away with another block shot. Oh my, he's having a great night. Vogel goes baseline. Call a foul on the baseline drive.
Well, I'm sure Corey McClure, going back to Corey McClure, I'm sure he does know that, but that's what the trouble is, being 6'4" and a low post player. I mean, he's always going up against bigger players. So he's got to power dribble, ball fake, get it even close to getting it up. So I think he knows what he's doing. He just doesn't realize who's guarding at some point.
Davies floats in, and the offensive foul called on Bob Davies. Wildcats have upped their lead to 53-33. Scoring the first half for the Badgers, of course, Michael Ozzy Osborne with 17 points, 3 threes, 6 for 7 from the free throw line. He had 8 threes over the weekend against the Wildcats. Haley kicks back for Roberge. He'll drive, goes up. Werntgen draws the charge, but looks over at the referee, doesn't get the whistle.
Well, he was too far underneath the basket. 9 out of 10 times they're not going to get the call when he's that far into the basket.
Corey McClure with a nice rebound off the 3-ball miss by Vogel and able to muscle back up and draw the foul.
Derek's taking a lot more threes in this game than we've seen in the past. I like that, going into the playoffs, getting his 3-point shot more consistent.
Well, you didn't get to see him over the weekend. I told our viewers already, but he had 28 against the Badgers on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Vogel had one of his greatest games here as a Westbrook College player. He had 38 points, and he got taken out with just under 10 minutes to play in the second half. The game's still hanging in the balance. Coach Graffam wanted to rest him and wanted to come home and go over the 3,000-point plateau here. And, of course, Coach Graffam talking to me after said, well, if we wouldn't have held our 10-point plus lead the remainder of the game, because I would have had to bring it back, and to heck with it, doing it at home. But he was trying to do it, you know, a nice thing and a gesture. But the Wildcats responded. Everyone played great in that game. It was a tremendous game. And Linden State played a strong contest as well, but he was on his way to possibly 50 points. And down low for Haley, and he gets knocked off balance, falls down, traveling called. Foul called on Roberge. Davies leaves it for McClure. That's a call I hate to see. Every time a guy goes up, I mean, a jump ball has to be tied up for longer than that. He goes up, the ball comes out of his hands, goes to the floor. How does that become a jump ball?
Well, it's either a jump ball or it's going to be a travel. Well, in other words, if he kept going up instead of let go of the ball, it's going to be held a little bit longer. Therefore, it's going to be a jump ball. But whereas the official is anticipating it, that's why you would get the
Haley
jump ball call.
Up, gets his own board, leaves it off for Bellows. He misses. Corey McClure the rebound. McClure's 3, no good, and Osborne gets the long rebound. 55-35 with 16:30 to play here, second half. First round of the Mayflower Conference Tournament. Wildcats are 6-0 lifetime in the Mayflower Conference tournaments. Looking to three-peat. Vogel left all alone. He goes up. Another deuce. Nice pass out on top from Corey McClure.
That was a great pass, great look. The first, what initiated was the ball fake to Werntgen, which drew the defense along with him, and it made a clear passing lane for Corey to hit Derek Vogel.
Wildcats in the man defense. Werntgen covering Haley, and he'll draw the personal foul. Roberts trying to knock it off. McKinney knocks it off his back into play. Davies up and under, no good. Vogel fouled on the rebound.
Bobby caught that ball, didn't really have much to do with it because the hang time of the ball. Had to go up and under, sweep the ball up and under and try and make that reverse layup off balance, which was a tough shot. It was a good follow by Derek Vogel.
McKinney a three. Tickles the twine, and the Wildcats now up 25. Last time these two teams played here at the Finley Recreation Center, Wildcats won that one 76-41. Kenny can't track it down as Mackey tried to outlet it. SD Lotus, Matt Mackey, Chris McKinney, and Derek Vogel out for Coach Graffam. The only one sitting out for Johnston State. We'll go with who's not in, and that's Tony Roberge. Mackey steals it from Osborne. Goes for Lotus. Lotus the catch, up, can't get it down. Gets his own board, back up, won't go down. And it's tapped around, and Haley comes away with it for Johnston State. Chris Lotus just having a very difficult evening.
Well, it's not just Chris Lotus. All the big men, except for Eric Werntgen, have had trouble. I mean, they've got to have the presence of using the glass down there. And I'm sure they know it, but just lack of concentration right now. And that's what they're going to need out of Matt Mackey, that great defensive play just a couple of seconds ago. That's what he's going to go in and do for the Wildcats. Going to bring in a defensive outlet for him. And hopefully pick up the intensity level for the people on the floor and on the bench, which he has done all season.
The winner of this gets the winner of Castleton, Notre Dame, and Lotus. Finally gets the bucket. He even puts his hands out. Says, well, what do you know?
Relief.
62-35. Castleton and Westbrook College split their season series. Haley's three, no good. Nelson the rebound, hands it off for Bellows. Johnston State will reset. Ozzie from almost out of bounds land. SD the rebound, up for Lennon.
Starts to seem like Johnston State is actually going through the motions now. Seems like they're packing it in, no intensity level on their part.
Timeout on the floor with 12:59 to go here in the second half. Wildcats leading 62-35. Ron Crosby along with Jay Harper as we bring you the first round of the Mayflower Conference Tournament. We'll be traveling hopefully to Rutland, Vermont for the weekend and the Final Four inside the conference. And we had a chance to sit down over the past weekend down in Vermont and talk with Andy Lennon and Derek Vogel, the leaders of this team and seniors. And this is what Andy Lennon had to say about the potential of not winning the conference and heading to Idaho for a third straight year. Back at the Finley Recreation Center, the women's team prevailing last night over Notre Dame. I believe the score was 102-52, or 102-62. It was a 40-point win for the Lady Wildcats. Chris Grillen had 28 points in that one. 3 threes and 9 for 9 shooting in the first half for Grillen. She had a great game against Linden State. 16 points in the first half down there. Lennon drives in and draws the foul. So the women are on their way to Rutland, and the men now trying to join the trip. Both teams have won the Mayflower Conference the last 2 years in a row. Amazing.
Well, I talked to John Martin last night. I asked him how he felt about going to the playoffs. He said he was very excited. He said they've beaten Castleton, and they just didn't play well against Green Mountain that last time they played. He says the girls are all very excited about going down and getting a chance to go. So he's going to have his team fired up and ready to go, and he's real positive about going down there and playing in that atmosphere in Rutland, Vermont.
Traveling called on Curtis Nelson. Nelson played a pretty good game over the weekend. He's struggling a bit tonight. Kenny pulls up on the baseline. Up, out, back in. 65-35.
It's a shooter's touch by Chris McKinney. A one-handed shot.
Lennon called for the kick as Vogel will check in for Lotus.
You know what I am surprised about, Jay, is Coach Graffam isn't using his bench players a little bit more now that they're up 30. Get him some confidence, get him some playing time, get him to run through the defenses just in case if they run into any problems down in Vermont by his foul trouble or injuries. I would think even with 12 minutes to go up 30, you'd start considering that.
Well, surprising a little bit, too, is the fact that the bench players played a lot over the weekend down in Vermont, and they contributed. Nosek had a nice outing on Sunday. Mackey had a strong efforts both Saturday and Sunday. Mackey's been playing quite well. The coaches are very impressed with that young man and his work ethic. And Huntington got some minutes. Aaron McClure had 12 points on Saturday. He had a real nice game. One big dunk. We saw some jams, some big-time jams. Cross, you're going to have to catch both these games on the cable network here and check out. Ozzie has to just fling it up, hits the shot clock in the wire, but amazing dunks. Werntgen had a couple. Vogel had a tomahawk one. Speak of Derek. Devo, 2 more, 67-35, 11:45 to play. That senior class that we talked about, surpassing 100 wins in their 4-year career. Esty, McClure, and Vogel, and Lennon. Their 4 years here, 101 and 31. Over a 70% winning percentage and looking to make it 102 tonight.
Well, those seniors had a great 4-year stretch. I think it would be a great tribute to them if they got a chance to go back out there.
And the freshman season, they were 26-5. Sophomore year, they were 30-5. Of course, you were part of both those teams, Ron. And last year, they were 24-10. And this year, right now, at 21-11. And obviously, they know that the upperclassmen contributed large to the number of wins that they were around and a part of.
As well as they contributed with us. I mean, not many teams have won 30 games in a season. I can't even think of another team right off the top of my head that has won 30 games in a season. And that's a remarkable feat.
Well, Paul Peterson and yourself and many others, but you know, Peterson's junior and senior year, yours 26 wins and then 30 wins. And just amazing numbers right there.
Well, Coach Graffam's gone 24, 30, 26, and this is a chance for 22. It's some good years right there.
First year of the program, back 90-91, 13-13. 500 in your first year, and you're just finding players as the season starts, picking in and bringing in some players, and then the next year 17-10, and then the last 4 years we've just talked about. Wildcats something like 134, 50 something as a varsity basketball program. Osborne, nice dish down for Nelson. Rolls inside nicely and misses the bunny. Lennon pulls up, short. Vogel swings around, up and in.
I wonder if Coach Graffam's trying to relay a message to the coach of Johnston State. I know they don't get along as well as we saw it. Coach Johnston go at him in the first game at home here with them. What do you think, Jay?
I doubt that very much. They seem to put all things in the past over the weekend, and certainly didn't have any problems communicating over the weekend and here earlier tonight before this game started. But I just think Coach Graffam really wants to get a good workout for his you know, first 10, if you will. And I think he knows that he's going to get enough minutes for the other guys late. Lennon tries the little cutesy wraparound pass for Vogel. Vogel's fouled, and these two guys had a lot of fun with us this weekend, and they had a chance to try to imitate my play-by-play calls. And let's listen in to these two guys and their call right here of Jay Harper, the voice of the Westbrook College Wildcats.
Werntgen rebounds, outlets to Davies. Davies pushes the ball up the floor, looks up to Lennon. Lennon kicks the ball to the left-hand side.
Rebound Werntgen, outlet to AL. AL up the floor to DV, 3-ball, bang. Wow.
They really like that bang.
And they did a nice job of Jay. I would have loved to have been there to help them imitate you.
Yeah, you certainly have heard it enough. Sometimes you say that bang so loud it rings your ears a little bit.
Any tributes to me?
Didn't.
Good.
Haven't got yourself going enough yet, Ron. I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
Well, it's easier to pick on you when you're going play-by-play than it is for me to be a color.
Right, most color commentators, unless you're a Dickie V, you don't get emulated too often. Oh, my. Oh, they called a player control foul on Vogel, and he's still standing there baffled, and he'll sit down along with Lennon. And here comes Huntington and Mackey. 9:44 to go, and the score 71-35.
Now, there wasn't even enough contact there to be even considered a foul.
Great take to the hole by Vogel. Timeout called by Johnston State.
Okay, you're in the middle. Oh, you're in the middle. Okay, you're on the side. Don't play passive, right? Because if they get a trap on, step up. I want them to try to lob the ball in for a layup for them. I want them to lob the ball inside for a layup after coming out of our trap. Okay.
Hey,
now, and listen, down here, run the ball down the floor. Let's this time down. The ball's got to either touch 4 or 5 before anybody shoots it. All set? Here we go.
Hey, keep up your tempo.
Let's go.
Let's go, Steven. Steven, let's go.
Wildcats send out Werntgen, Corey McClure, Chris McKinney, Steve Huntington, and Matt Mackey. Again, the weekend tournament down in Rutland. It's going to be interesting on the road for the tournament, but the Wildcats have done that enough, headed to Vermont and played pretty well down there. Being the neutral site where they should match up Castleton and Green Mountain, if they prevail over Castleton, more than likely they'd see a Green Mountain in the finals, but you never know. They won't actually see St. Joe's in Vermont, but you would have to think the home crowd of St. Joe's and being in Vermont, they'll have a lot bigger crowd down there.
Well, yeah, it's tough to make a journey up 4.5 hours to Maine to see their teams play up here, especially when they know how dominant Westbrook's been in the past 3 years. Now that it's in Rutland, whether who's dominant or not, the whole town of Rutland get to come out and see some great college basketball. And I do like the idea of having it in a neutral site because everybody likes playing in front of a great big crowd. But then again, I disagree. If #1 seed deserves to play in front of their home crowd, just the way college basketball should be played.
It's interesting how they got that in.
Well, probably because the Mayflower Conference gets a certain percentage of sales at tournament games, and they weren't making enough.
Huntington will take the 3 ball. No good. McKinney the rebound. Fade away. Chris McKinney looking to Coach Graffam for the defense. Fall into a 2-3 zone. Tough travel call there. Like Plouffe made a nice move. Of course, playing under Coach Graffam, playing inside the Westbrook College system, this is precisely what Coach Graffam does, and I don't think it matters where they finish seed-wise. They've won it 2 years in a row. Don't you think they have all the confidence in the world?
Well, of course they've got the most confidence going into this tournament. I mean, they've won it the last 2 years. They've proven that they can win, whether they're seeded 1 or seeded 9th. They've got great confidence in their game and their level, their coaching. That's one tribute to Coach Graffam's style of coaching.
Oh, the Wildcats with great heads-up play. Huntington, after making the 3 ball down the other end, has a great steal. He saves it, sends the ball about as high as it could go, went up into the rafters and the lighting, and came back down, and Aaron McClure smartly whacked it ahead to McKinney. McKinney puts it in the hole, and it's now 78-37 with 8:13 to go. And Wildcats, no sign of letting up here. And again, the numbers for Johnston State, only 6 players. And they had a player quit at halftime in Saturday's game down there. Fletcher called it a season, and he is one of their captains. So a lot of problems for Charlie Mason in his program right now. And of course, taking over from Buddy Mahar in last season. Garrett Hilchey now also into the lineup.
Chris almost got away with that one. So he saw the flailing arms.
Foul number 23, McKinney, his 4th. Fellows at the line, shooting 2.
Certainly did many road trips throughout your playing days here. I got indoctrinated into the road concept and going down and a weekend and being in Vermont, you know, just beautiful scenery down there. Of course, we had to drive down in a snowstorm. Took us 5.5 hours to get there. That wasn't much fun. But being around the team, the coaching staff, and seeing great basketball and some of the different facilities, I was impressed both with Johnston State and Linden State's gymnasiums and great basketball. Matt Mackey taking it to the hole with authority.
Well, I agree with the facilities there. They're very nice facilities. Linden State has probably one of the best facilities in the conference as far as all around, baseball, basketball. They got a swimming pool. I mean, they just got great facilities down there.
Really do.
Plus, they got the Lindenville Diner, which is probably one of the best eating establishments in Vermont.
We may have spent a few mornings there, huh, Steve? Lindenville Diner. We went there both Saturday and Sunday morning for breakfast. And Saturday morning, we just did the English muffin and muffin thing, Steve and I, because we went out to eat with the coaches on Friday night. We got down there, and boy, after eating their diet, we wanted to eat a little bit lighter on Saturday. Sunday morning, we ate right back with them and did the eggs and everything else with it. Big sausage patty. Knocked down about 50 grams of fat. Speaking of knocking down, Bellows knocks down a 16-footer from the baseline. Huntington, another three. Rattles around, off the glass, back down in. Huntington finding his stroke maybe in the nick of time.
Well, that'd be a great lift for Westbrook College if he starts getting that stroke down, especially come playoff time, because they're going to need his outside shooting.
They certainly will, and he has struggled big time in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Ozzie a three, comes up with air. Nosek able to come away with the rebound. He's getting harassed by Bellows, but finally off to Huntington.
Well, I had a chance to talk with Steve earlier in this year. I asked him, what would be the biggest struggle he's having. He said, well, in high school, I had control of the ball all the time. And I shot when I wanted to. Now, being a freshman, I've got to start all over again, learning a role. And, it's tough being a freshman in this kind of program, learning a role, especially when you only get 2 or 3 touches a game. It's tough, but he'll overcome it in his next couple of years. Shouldn't be a problem.
Bellows strains a three. I believe he made 1 or 2 on Saturday down there. He can shoot outside, doesn't take too many. Huntington trying for another, doesn't go down, and Osborne gets the rebound. Huntington coming in to a few games ago had like 34 on the season. Another incredible save.
He's had a bunch of those this year. It's just fun to watch him.
He's good at that.
I know it.
Reminds me, Westbrook College seems to have those type of players. Of course, Stan Webb was tremendous at stealing and saving. Rob Davies is about as good as they get, but Huntington maybe a cut above. But we'll make him earn it a few more years before we'll say that.
Yeah, he's still just a youngster.
Of course, Gary Kuhn wasn't too bad at that either. Where is that Jersey boy?
He's living a nice lifestyle in South End, boy.
Now, you were saying last week that Paul Peterson might make the trek up to Vermont for the weekend.
I just had words with him 2 days ago. He's not going to be able to make it. He's going to work the weekend.
He's come close a lot of times. Like to see the big guy. $83-41 our score. 5:30 to play. Vogel now over 3,000 points on his career. Ozzie bites off another bat hit. Nosek will try one. Maybe he shouldn't have. Notice a nice turnaround move. Aaron McClure keeps it alive.
Nozak doesn't look like he's even in it today.
Kick for Osborne. And this one no good, but Bellows able to come away with the rebound. And That one sent into the second row. Mike Johnston's mother, Janine Johnston, had to try to make the catch on that.
She didn't look like she really wanted to.
Lotus, a nice power move, but again, comes up short. That young man needs a play here to get his confidence rolling.
Well, that's where his inexperience comes in. He's athletically a freshman. You know, by now, if he was a senior, he'd be able to make that adjustment, use the glass.
Hilchey ties up Curtis Nelson, who has also struggled for the Badgers tonight. Arrow favors Westbrook College. Nosek fakes, steps in, window, no good.
I guess Coach Mason's packed it in. I guess he packed it in at the 12-minute mark. I mean, at least his kids should go down fighting, maybe putting a little man-to-man pressure full court. I know they've only got 6, but they should at least go down fighting. And they're still running the slow-down offense, and they're going to get shellacked when this is all said and done.
Well, this is one case where I'd back the coach. And you hear the Wildcat bench trying to get Lotus, cheer him on. They all thought he had it. But I would almost hang with the coach. I hate it when a coach says, I'd rather lose by 30 than 60. But in this case, this is their style of offense, and there's not much they can really do to get out of that. They're not an up-tempo type of team, and they are down 40. It is game. And, of course, with only the 6 bodies to go to, you got nothing to go to if
I agree with. I mean,
you run out of gas.
I agree with you. You know, you got to try and stay with your style of basketball. But this is playoff time. You've got to give it all. I mean, whether you have 6 or 5 guys, I mean, it just seems as though they cashed it in.
Traveling called on Lotus, says he got the tip back and he was determined to take it back to the rack, and back to the rack he went with a whack off the window, but not good. Travel.
Hey, at least he made the shot.
That might help. Sometimes you just make it. You see that visually, and mentally that helps you the next time you go up with a shot. That's why you see so many players after the whistle, if they're struggling, will still shoot it at the basket just to try to get the rhythm going.
I remember when Danny Ainge used to play for the Celtics. He always used to say, anytime you hear a whistle, try to get a shot off. I mean, you never know. And you see a lot of kids doing that now. I don't know if they heard it from Danny Ainge or not, but giving those shot attempts, even with a whistle, you might get one now and then.
The score, amazingly, is still at 83-44. Now 2:49 to play. Backcourt violation on the Badgers. Lotus with a bump, body, bucket. Lotus now with 4 points on a probably about 2 for 9 shooting evening. Singing a little John Lennon. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. They're gonna count that one. Or you could do the Van Morrison version, the opposite of that. Maybe Werntgen was singing that. Mama told me there'd be days like these. That new song out by Van the Man, When Everything Goes Right. Did you ever have that happen?
I've had a couple of games, yeah. I'd rather have it as a coach than a player, though.
.206 now to go before the Wildcats secure a berth in the Final Four of the Mayflower Conference. Huntington, a 3-ball. Wow. Window whack, and no way he called that one. Huntington gets the trifecta from Trifecta Land, but that was ugly. It was actually pretty because it did whack and then all net. It was nylon coming through. Nelson trying to get something going, and he does.
Even as captain on the bench, he's letting the kids know, stop fouling.
Nelson's basket is good. He's at the line, shooting 1.
88-49. Nosek says, I'm going to the rack.
Jeez, he got bumped on that one.
Of course, the refs now want to try to let this one wind down.
Well, I agree with you there, but they called the foul down here. I mean, they've got to at least call it both ways. Someone's going to get hurt.
Ozzie will launch from 6 feet back.
Osborne,
Back.
43.
Nosek, oh!
Now that was
Sweet.
no angle to get that off the backboard. Jeez, tough shot, great shot.
That's a beautiful kiss, and it puts the Wildcats up 90-52. He'll go to the free throw line to try to earn the three-point play. He had a tremendous drive to the hole against Linden State. He was at a 45-degree angle going in, up in the air, able to make it, and then go to the free throw line and convert the three-point play. Big Ben finishes it off, and now a minute to go here in the contest, and you hear the Wildcat bench up and cheering.
Gotta keep running, Aaron. Gotta keep running.
Haley will take the three. Got it.
3 points for Haley.
We're down to 16 seconds to play. The Wildcats on their way to defend their Mayflower Conference title.
Hold it. Good luck, guys.
91, Johnston State.
Good job, fellas.
Best of luck to the Westbrook College Wildcats as they travel to Rutland, Vermont to continue their quest to become Mayflower Conference champion.
Looking to three-peat, and they do a very nice job to get themselves off and running here inside the conference tournament. A 91-55 W, improving to 22-11 overall. And now looking to face more than likely Castleton State, the winner of Castleton State, Notre Dame, and then hopefully a trip into the finals for the Wildcats. It should be an exciting weekend of basketball.
It's going to be an all-out war this weekend between the two teams, whether Westbrook and Castleton or Westbrook and Green Mountain.
Derek Vogel down there signing some autographs, as well he should. His 3,000-point cards. And DV, one of the rare things I just learned about him recently is writes left-handed. Does everything else right-handed, but he writes left-handed. You see the left-hand autograph? You know, I wouldn't mind having one of those. You think Devo would give me an autograph?
I think Devo would give you an autograph.
I'd love to have it. Great young man and terrific performance once again by Vogel. As
You can put it in your studios down in Saco, Maine.
Sunny Saco. Vogel now above and beyond $3 grand, and the only player that has, we think, any chance, a lot of people talked about this, they talked about it earlier in the year, is Cindy Blodgett at maybe making a run at that tremendous number.
I think she's got a good chance. She's averaging 26, almost 27 in her sophomore campaign. And, you she's only a sophomore. She's got 2 more years where she might step it up those next 2 years.
Certainly, she had a tremendous freshman campaign. Vogel averaged 18.7 his freshman year, 20.3 his sophomore year, 25.8 last year, and he's right around 29 to 30 this year. So Blodgett does have a shot at that, and Vogel said, hey, she does it fine. That'll bring my name back up, give Maine some more recognition as a basketball state. He's just a terrific young man, and another great performance. We'll take a break. Back with our post game right after this. Welcome back to the Findlay Recreation Center. Jay Harper along with Ron Crosby, cameraman for tonight's action as always. Steve Poulos. Wildcats explode in the second half and win going away 91-55. They move to the Final Four down in Rutland, Vermont this coming weekend. Leading the way in scoring for Westbrook College, Derek Vogel. The All-American finishes with 24 points. He had a couple of threes in the game, and of course came out with about 10 minutes to go, and this one was well in hand for Westbrook College. Bob Davies had 15 first half points. He finishes with 15 points, second leading scorer for Westbrook College. Eric Werntgen, pretty much the same story for the 6'7" junior out of Essex Junction, Vermont. He had 10 in the first half and of course suffered that bruise on his hip, and that slowed his progress, although he did have a couple of block shots in the second half. He had 10 in the first half, finishes with 10 points. A great evening for Eric Werntgen. 9 points for Chris McKinney. He had 1 3 on the night. 8 points for Corey McClure. We had 4 for Lotus, 4 for Andy Lennon, 3 for Matt Mackey, and 3 for Ben Nosek, and then a bucket for Matt Mackey. And again, almost all the Wildcats getting in the scoring column as we saw over the weekend. Oh, we didn't have the final totals. Of course, Huntington had 9 points as well, 3 threes. You can total it out there. He finishes with 9 on a good shooting spurt late in the second half. And of course, when you look at Westbrook College getting all those players in the scoring column, as they did a lot this weekend, a lot of times only one player not scoring over the weekend. As you said, maybe the Wardies didn't get their minutes, but they got them late. And all in all, you'd have to say that this team is playing with a lot of confidence.
Well, I agree with you, and they have to keep that confidence level going up, down in the playoffs. Whether you're a starter or you're a bench player, you've got to be confident. You've got to be ready to go once you go in the game. One thing this team is good at is playing under pressure because they have 4 great seniors. But those underclassmen, and I shouldn't exclude Davies and Werntgen, because they are, even though they played in the tournament last year, they're still only sophomores. And they've got to be ready to play. I mean, it's going to be an all-out war down in Vermont.
Certainly will be. Checking the scoring for Johnson State. The Badgers were led by Michael Ozzy Osborne as he knocked in 25 points, bit off 5 bat hits, 3 trays, and had 29 against the Wildcats on the weekend. And certainly a great outside shooter, almost Gary Kuhn caliber for him. 9 points for both Matt Haley and Brian Plouffe, and 5 points for both John Bellows and Curtis Nelson, and a bucket for Tony Roberge, as Charlie Mason's squad only musters up 55 points, but considering the 41 they put up here the last time these two teams played at the Findlay Recreation Center, not a bad night. So the Wildcats, again, improve to 22-11, get set to head to Rutland, Vermont, and go down and take on the likes of Castleton and probably Green Mountain. Should be a great weekend of basketball. We appreciate you being around for this one. We'll take a short pause for the cause and come back with post-game interviews on the Westbrook College Television Network.
Welcome back to the Findlay Recreation Center. Jay Harper being joined by Derek Vogel and Corey McClure, two of the seniors on this squad. Of course, there's four of you. You guys now 102 and 31 in your 4 years. Most impressive there. And now your chance to head down to Rutland, Vermont and three-peat. And how important was this win tonight and getting it out of the way? Of course, Derek, you got the 3,000 points, got that out of the way, and now, of course, into the Final Four where the nuts and bolts really start grinding.
Yeah, it took a couple nervous shots and a barely drawing iron foul shot to get it out of the way, but now it's over with, and now we can move on to Rutland, which is going to be a test of our strength.
Now, Corey, of course, you're one of the seniors. You had a nice night again here this evening. What do you do with the rest of the seniors? How do you guys approach this with the younger guys who maybe haven't been to this level of play? The competition certainly steps up in this type of action.
Well, we've talked about that. Some of the younger guys have asked what it's like and are concerned about what they have to do to get to where we've been in the past. And all we can tell them is to focus down and play the role that coaches asked them to play all year. And I think more and more everybody's been able to do that. I noticed tonight in the locker room before the game, it was a business-like attitude down there, and that was good to see. For the, we've been, we'd like to joke around a little bit before games, but it was pretty down to business tonight, and it was good to get it. It's hard to get up for a game like this where we've smoked them the past the 2 times we've played them, and I thought we played some pretty good defense at times out there for most of the game, and that's what's got to carry us through the championship.
Now, Derek, of course, more than likely you'll be playing Castleton. Now, they offer a lot of different things for you, some size, some good bodies, and they've split with you this year. What do you expect in that first-round matchup?
I expect a war. I really do. It's going to come down to Alan LaRoche, is a great guard. And we shut him down and we shut down their offense. And all I can say is if we pick up our defensive intensity, it's going to be a running game, and I don't think they can run with us.
Now, as far as the big men, I know, Derek, you play the inside-outside type of game, but Corey, you're more of the down-low player, though you hit your threes as well. But you, along with Nate Esty and Eric Werntgen, Werntgen's been playing great as of late. And, of course, Nate Esty, you have to get him in there, too, to get it done in the Final Four. What do you guys, the low-post players, look forward to in this one?
Well, I look forward more to the challenge in a game like this where they've got some bigger players to more or less play in the defensive end of my game. In a game like this, I'm not going to get maybe the touches that I might get against a team like this who's got the 6'2", 6'1" forwards on my back. And when I do catch the ball, I try to get these guys involved, with the three-pointers by kicking it outside, because they tend to, any defense will tend to suck down to you if the big men get the ball. And these guys have done a good job of shooting it all year. So we just, the big men, if we do our job, can get these guys going. And once these guys are on fire, the game should be over.
Now, a couple of things, Derek. First off, the autographs tonight. I saw those 3,000 point cards. You were signing those right up. That must feel great, though, when these youngsters come up and ask you for your autograph.
Yeah, it does. It feels good that you get all that support. We play here 4 years. You don't really realize the support till accomplishments are made, and it's nice to see little kids into basketball again. It's stuff that you thought you wouldn't see again. But it's nice.
Now you guys are 7-0 inside the Mayflower Conference tournaments. You've won it the last 2 years. How do you guys think the difference will be for you having to go on the road now for the Final Four rather than hosting the last 2 years?
I don't think it'll make a difference, to tell you the truth. It's all in our attitude. If we're ready to play, then it doesn't matter where we're playing. We're going to get the job done. If we come out not ready to play, then it's going to be a war. It's going to be a battle. So it's all going to be mental.
All right, seniors Corey McClure and All-American Derek Vogel. Vogel over 3,000 points here this evening. They win and head down to Rutland, Vermont for the Final Four, and more than likely will take on Castleton State this weekend. For my cameraman Steve Poulos, my partner Ron Crosby, I'm Jay Harper saying so long from the Findlay Recreation Center. It's been a great year here, and hopefully it continues all the way to Idaho.
Down in Cocoa